Right now, the way it looks, we're going to be taxed.
Will billions of dollars in debt be dumped on the shoulders of Central Florida taxpayers? Now at 4, how lawmakers say the future of Reedy Creek and your wallet are tied together. Plus,
it's so sad. It's heartbreaking. These are my neighbors.
A small community shaken when 2 people are taken in a house fire. The major detail 2 county agencies investigating can't agree on.
WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
And we have a live look at that breaking news from Chopper 2 right now. A downed wire has closed off a busy Orlando intersection. This is South Orange Blossom Trail at Central Boulevard. Orlando police officers are on the scene, as you can see, redirecting traffic while repairs are being made. We will keep you updated on the traffic situation throughout the hour. Also, first at 4, sounding the alarm. Today, a group of Democratic state senators spoke out about what they fear the end of Disney's special district could mean for people in Orange and Osceola counties.
they say it could mean a huge property tax increase. WESH News' Marley Martinez joins us now live from Disney. And Marley, how high of a tax increase are we talking here?
Well, everything's still up in the air, but the numbers of the state senators threw out taxes possibly doubling for some property owners, meaning some people may have to pay over $2,000 more a year.
Right now, the way it looks, we're going to be taxed. And we do not want that to happen to the citizens of Orange and Osceola County. And
Democratic state senators say financial and legal experts are still crunching the numbers on what the dissolution of Disney's special district could mean for people in Orange and Osceola counties. But Senators Linda Stewart, Randolph Bracey, and Victor Torres banded together on Monday, warning people to brace themselves for what could happen.
And that is a huge tax increase to every property owner.
Disney has $1 billion in bond debt. Bracey says if you add that onto Orange County's existing $1 billion debt, that could mean a big burden on residents.
Property taxes could possibly double, if not more.
It comes down to our pocketbook, and we've got inflation. Everybody's complaining about every fee that we're trying, that is being increased, and we can't have between $1,500 and $2,200 tax per year given out to not just residential, but commercial. And
the staff analysis of the new law says it's unclear what the fiscal impact will be. But Governor Ron DeSantis said more legislation will be proposed to make sure there won't be any tax increases for residents. But these state lawmakers are calling the governor's move a political stunt that could have real-world consequences.
Disney is not the one being punished by this bill. The thousands of workers are. The taxpayers of Orange and Osceola are going to be punished.
Today, we reached out to the comptrollers to find out what those numbers show so far. We're still waiting to hear back. Now, coming up at 5, we talk with an economist at UCF who says the fiscal future may not be so grim. Live at Disney, Marlene Martinez, WESH 2 News.
Let's get a check of your first warning weather now. A few showers are starting to pop up just in time for the evening commute.
And that's why we're bringing in meteorologist Cam Tran. So Cam, who is seeing the rain right now?
Mostly for areas I-4 on eastward is where we're seeing that rain, but it's slowly pushing off to the west, though, as we go into the afternoon. Here's a look at first warning radar. You're noticing with that east coast sea breeze that's pushing inland, we're seeing a few showers right up along it. So heavier downpours right now setting up into southern Osceola County. We're in Kenansville. We're getting in some downpours at the moment. That's the case across Yeehaw Junction as well. Also noticing a few showers just south of Lake Hart out this afternoon. You can see that shower starting to diminish a little bit there as it moves off to the west just south of the beach line. And then as we go a little farther north, we did see a few showers pop up here near Winter Park and Aloma and right off of Goldenrod here, bringing in some wet weather across our area there into Orange County.
All right, Cam, thank you. Make sure to download the WESH 2 News mobile app if you haven't done so already. Our team will notify you when a storm is heading your way. You can also be informed on the go with our interactive radar.
The woman deputies say is responsible for an hours-long standoff inside an Orlando McDonald's is in jail this evening. Deputies say 30-year-old Chandrika Warren shot at them before hiding out inside the restaurant for nearly 6 hours. This all began around 10:30 on Saturday night when deputies responded to an armed robbery call at the McDonald's on South OBT near Holden Avenue. When they got there, they say Warren fired at them and then they returned fire. No one was hurt. Right now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is investigating the shooting, and the 3 deputies who fired those shots are on paid administrative leave.
There is still no word on the cause of a Brevard County fire over the weekend that killed a woman and a 12-year-old boy. The flames broke out on Kingswood Drive in Mims, and that's where we find WESH 2's Scott Heidler today. Scott, what's it like out there right now?
Well, you can see over my shoulder that there's not much left of this family's home from this devastating fire on Saturday morning that left a 40-year-old woman and a 12-year-old boy dead.
In Seminole County, 6 adults are now without a place to live after an early morning house fire. The flames started in a back enclosed patio on Murphy Road. The Seminole County Fire Department tweeted the pictures that you see all around me here on your screen. We're told that everyone was already out when help arrived, and the fire was knocked out quickly. The cause of this fire, though, is still under investigation. Representative Anna Escamani has announced that she's tested positive for COVID-19. Escamani says she had a fever last night, but it's already gone down. She says she's vaccinated and will be working from home. She also asked people to please get tested and continue taking care of themselves and others, reminding her followers that COVID-19 is not over. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis publicly backed Elon Musk's decision to buy Twitter.
Yeah, the governor says he has no desire to try and sway Twitter to move its operations to Florida, but the state will still benefit from the move.
Making way for nothing. Still ahead on WESH 2 News at 4, why a piece of prime real estate in downtown Orlando won't be built upon.
And it's video that will make you feel uneasy. What had to be done to bring back a truck swinging over a railing.
And why the saying lightning never strikes the same place twice does not apply to our next story.
Hurricane season is creeping in, and it's a good time to check in on your coverage. What the emergency management officials suggest you do right now to prepare for later.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Conviva Care Center.
It's a condition many children face, leaving them in danger if exposed to certain foods.
They said never leave the house without an EpiPen.
Parents looking for answers so their kids can live a more normal life. Now, doctors right here in Florida report decades of success with a therapy growing in popularity.
We're pioneering a lot of this research.
WESH 2 News takes an exclusive look at oral immunotherapy Tuesday at 11.
We'll get another live look at that breaking news from Chopper 2. You're taking a look at the down wire that has closed off a busy Orlando intersection. This is at South Orange Blossom Trail at Central Boulevard. Orlando police officers are at that scene redirecting traffic to make sure that no one drives over that down wire. They are making repairs right now, are waiting for crews to get out there and do so. We will keep you updated on this breaking traffic situation.
Meanwhile, take a look at this. All is back to normal this evening after a mess on I-4 this morning. Check out that picture on your screen. A bunch of pavers fell off of a truck in the eastbound lanes right near the turnpike around 7 o'clock this morning. You could just imagine the backups that this caused. State troopers and transportation officials worked to clean it all up as quickly as possible. It took about 5 hours to clear the roadways and get traffic fully flowing again. The roller coaster prices continue at the gas pump, and we're starting May on the upswing.
Right now, Florida drivers are seeing the highest gas prices in a month. It's because of the war's pressure on oil prices, as many countries are trying to limit their import of Russian oil. AAA predicts prices will remain high as long as the supply remains tight. Taking a look at where Florida's numbers stand right now, the average for a gallon of regular gas is at $4.18. The most expensive county in our area right now is Flagler at 1 cent more, and the cheapest gas in our area is in Brevard County at $4.14. In Hillsborough County, a Brandon home caught fire twice after a lightning storm. A person called 911 last night saying they saw that home get hit by lightning, then smoke came pouring out. It took crews about 15 minutes to get it all under control. 3 people inside were evacuated. Then a second fire broke out this morning. These are the flames that you're seeing right here. No one was hurt.
Hurricane season doesn't officially start until the 1st of June, but we do know that storms can happen earlier than that. The past few years have certainly proven it. WESH 2's Dave McDaniel is live this afternoon with a message from emergency managers as this is the beginning of Hurricane Preparedness Week. Dave.
Yeah, we're here at the Seminole County Emergency Operations Center, and the message is very clear. You should start preparing long before the pressure is on to make sure that you are ready long before a violent storm is days or hours away.
All right, Dave, thank you. And Cam, of course, we are in the final countdown to hurricane season.
Yeah.
It's going to be here before we know it.
That's right. We're about 30 days away officially from the start of hurricane season. But, you know, of course, we can sometimes get earlier storms. But thankfully, that is not the case right now in the tropics at all. So, again, 30 days left, so you can always prepare early, as Dave McDaniel mentioned. Right now, though, take a look at those temperatures. It is quite steamy out this afternoon. 88 right now in Orlando, but we did hit 90 degrees at the top of the hour. 86 right now in Sanford, and currently 86 in St. Cloud. Take a look at our visible satellite. You can see the East Coast sea breeze making its way inland just west of I-95 at the moment. West Coast sea breeze trying to push its way in still. We are noticing, though, along that East Coast sea breeze, some showers already firing up this afternoon. Take a look at first warning radar. We'll do the radar tour from north to south. You can see some decent rain over Pearson there and moving west as we go into Astor. We're also noticing De Leon Springs, a few downpours there, and just north of DeLand, a few rain showers as well. Heading into Orange County, we do have a little light rain that's moving right over Maitland as we speak, over Goldenrod as well, and portions of Winter Park. Also dealing with some rain as we go into the afternoon. Some heavier downpours, though, in southern Osceola County, where we've had this downpour basically just meandering here right over Kenansville and just north of Yeehaw Junction, bringing in some nice downpours there over Osceola County. Speaking of the heat, expecting another 90-degree day ahead for tomorrow. The case for Wednesday as well. Thursday and Friday, we really crank up the heat. 92 your high Thursday and 93 the high on Friday. So this summer-like heat returns. Our average first 90-degree day is usually April 19th. Including today, we've had 8 days so far, and it's going to keep on moving up. That number's account is going to keep going, because look at this extended weather forecast. We stay in the low 90s all the way through the weekend. Finally, a front tries to make its way through over the weekend. That will nudge our temperatures down a little cooler, and I put cooler in air quotes here because we're just down into the upper 80s for Monday, getting in a little bit of relief and in the humidity. Speaking of the humidity, it's going to be rough out there. I'll show you how sticky we'll get this week in my muggy meter. That's coming up at 4:47.
We've got a muggy meter, Cam. Thank you. Police in New York were involved in an hour-long chase yesterday, but not after a suspect. We got the video after this break.
Plus, making room for more or less. A building near Lake Eola is coming down, and it won't be replaced by another one. What's going in its place instead?
But first, people had to escape a fire at a vacation resort by jumping from their balconies. A better look at the flames that tore through dozens of rooms when we come back.
An unusual chase captured in a New York town over the weekend. Officers spent an hour pursuing a loose sheep. A local animal shelter called in reinforcements after several people spotted it. Police followed the animal through fields, the woods, and even eventually a nearby town. Officers are not sure where it belongs because there are no reports of missing sheep. The animal, though, is safe and sound at a rescue today.
Do you just let him go?
I don't know. I mean, you don't want him to just be running around. He could get hurt out there, right?
I guess, but I mean, if he wasn't causing any bad problems,
Okay, I see what this is. That was a very big setup for a terrible joke. A shocking move in the defamation trial being watched across the nation. What Amber Heard just did days before she is set to testify against her ex-husband, Johnny Depp.
This summer vacation season, it's unclear what kind of service you'll find in paradise, how staffing shortages could impact your stay.
And our team continues looking into the immigration backlog happening in Orlando. What's being done to help the people who have camped out for days with no sign of getting an appointment?
WESH 2 traffic is driven by Toyota Orlando and Toyota Claremont.
WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
We want to get you back out live to the scene of breaking news from Chopper 2. A downed wire has closed off a busy intersection in Orlando. We've been following this for some time now. This is South Orange Blossom Trail at Central Boulevard. Orlando police officers, as you can see, are on the scene. They're redirecting traffic while they make some repairs because this is obviously a dangerous situation. We're going to keep you updated on how the repairs are going and when traffic will reopen in this area. The backlog at the Orlando Immigration Office appears to be getting worse.
We first brought you this problem just last week. The long lines do not appear to be going away. A slowdown at the office has some people camping out overnight just to keep their appointments.
WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox explains why it's happening and how local lawmakers are trying to provide some relief.
Demolition is now underway on a former 7-Eleven store in downtown Orlando. As WESH's Bob Hazen reports, the tear down of the building near Lake Eola Park will pave the way for more green space.
This is something you don't see very often in Orlando. This building and prime real estate in downtown Orlando is being torn down to make way for nothing, green space. And soon, people hope that the next two buildings over will also come down. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer was at the controls of this excavator, striking the first blow against the former 7-Eleven building on Roslyn at Central, ripping it down to create a strip of green space close to Lake Eola.
It's hard to create green space. Usually it's going the other way around.
The city owns this property thanks to the Orlando Land Trust, which was started by Lynn Long and Eugenia Sefcik, who call themselves the Little Old Ladies. After hearing about plans to build a high-rise on this corner, they got busy, raising over $1 million and then working with the city to buy the building, making the high-rise plan impossible.
So we tried to take the piece that we thought would be most important for the preservation of green space.
They had 600 donors, including someone who donated $200,000. And after years of hard work, the ladies also got a chance to operate the heavy machinery.
Be my next career. I've decided I'm going to become a smasher. That was like the culmination of the whole thing. You know, that's what was exciting about it, is we really got to do something.
Plans don't stop with this one little strip. The mayor and Commissioner Patty Sheehan say they also want to find a way to acquire the two buildings next to it, opening up the path to Lake Eola.
Someone's always willing to sell, and I'm hoping that as we've been so successful with the fundraising to date with this corner, that we can continue and go all the way into the park.
We want this to become the western gateway to Lake Eola Park.
In downtown Orlando, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
The U.S. Coast Guard rescued 9 people after their pontoon overturned off Key West on Saturday. A Good Samaritan notified the crew of the overturned boat near Boca Chica Channel. The Coast Guard says all 9 were rescued without life jackets on. No injuries were reported. The Guard reminds everyone to wear a life jacket, check conditions before you head out, tell someone where you are going and when you'll be back, and ensure that your safety gear is up to date.
Turning now to the war in Ukraine, more than 5.5 million people have fled since that war began. That's according to the UN Refugee Agency. Most sought refuge in Poland, with more than 3 million Ukrainians crossing over into the country. Others fled to places like Romania, Hungary, and Slovakia. Meanwhile, after weeks of sheltering in the Mariupol steel plant, desperate Ukrainian civilians are finally being evacuated.
Russia is holding off on its attacks for now. As NBC's Susan McGinnis reports, rescue efforts need to move fast in case that changes. Just days before she's expected to testify against her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard has fired her public relations team. Heard is expected to testify Wednesday in the defamation claim against her. Sources tell NBC News that she dropped the crisis management firm that had been preparing her leading up to the trial and now has a new media strategy firm representing her. Depp is suing Heard for $50 million over an op-ed that she wrote in 2018 in which she claims she was a victim of domestic abuse. He was never named directly, but the actor says it cost him several roles. The trial is on its 3rd week and is expected to last 3 more.
All right, more heat and humidity is settling into Central Florida.
We are inching closer to summer, and our weather definitely proves that. Find out how hot is expected to get this week when meteorologist Cam Tran joins us after this break. But first,
when we're talking about summer travel and how labor shortages might affect it, you have to really realize it's not just the airport or the car rental counter. It's the person who works at the local ice cream shop or the wait staff at that beachside restaurant.
The staffing shortage is threatening to put a damper on your vacation. Next.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Rubenstein Law. Injured? Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Join WESH 2 and Second Harvest Food Bank for the ultimate garden party. Enjoy an afternoon of entertainment, auctions, games, food, and more. Proceeds support Second Harvest's fight against hunger in our community. Saturday, May 21st at the Lowe's Sapphire Falls at Universal Orlando Resort. Tickets are available now at ultimategardenparty.org. Together, we can feed hope for our neighbors in need. From WESH 2 and Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida.
As families gear up for summer travel, they may notice the latest side effect of the economy poolside or when asking for room service.
Many cities, including Orlando, are preparing for big vacation crowds. But as Carrie Sanders reports, many businesses are having trouble filling their staff. And many of these summer jobs are typically filled by teenagers who want to make some money during their summer break. However, experts say this year, those teens are traveling with their families instead because of the high travel demand.
And the pool or the beach may be the place to be, Cam. It is hot outside.
Yeah, we actually hit 90 degrees today. It felt like it with all that sunshine out there, and it's going to be continuing with that heat. Here's a look at what places that hit 90, including in Orlando. We did hit 88 in Leesburg, and 87 was the official high this afternoon in Sanford. So with today hitting 90, we've hit 8 days so far this year where we've hit 90 degrees or even better, and the average is about 5. So we're running above average already. And just to give you some perspective, the record from the beginning of the year to May 2nd is 30. Obviously, we're nowhere near that, but I do think we'll be adding to those 90-degree day counts this week. Take a look at current temperatures. Right now, 88 right now in Orlando, 87 in Leesburg, currently 82 in Palm Coast. Take a look at first warning radar. We are noticing that East Coast sea breeze. Along that, some showers and even a few thunderstorms firing up. And as we do the radar tour from north to south here, you can see that heavy rain over Pearson, De Leon Springs this afternoon. We're also noticing a few showers popping up in Winter Park and near Goldenrod. And we're also noticing a few rain showers out near Apopka and south of Papa, bringing in some pretty nice downpours there, and it's about to make its way west over Lake Apopka this afternoon. Farther to the south, we've been dealing with some pretty moderate to heavy rain at times over Kenansville and Yeehaw Junction with this rain showers that haven't really moved much there in southern Osceola County. Speaking of the weekend, here's a glance of your weekend planner. Staying hot with temperatures in the low 90s. We upped the rain coverage, though, to about 40% both Saturday and Sunday, and then on Monday, highs in the upper 80s. You see a lot of 90-degree heat there on our extended weather forecast. Is this a sign the wet season's started already in Central Florida? Meteorologist Tony Manolfi will answer that question coming up at 5.
They don't know that we know that they know that we know about this next story. I don't know if I did that right.
We'll show you how a super fan of a hit NBC television show transformed a home next.
First warning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Cool Today.
Hardcore fans of the classic TV show Friends may want to check out a house for sale in Ohio.
It's modeled after Monica Geller's apartment. The replica has purple and blue walls, just like the set. There's brick in the kitchen and open blue cabinets. The agent selling the home said that she repeatedly watched the show and got the house to look as close as possible. The asking price is $162,000.
Okay, so you know I follow all the weird homes that get posted, and I have seen this one before. I did not know it was in reference to Friends. I missed that.
Oh, okay.
However, $162 is not a bad price.
No, it's not, but it is, I guess, has to do with where it is in the market. It was an Airbnb before, so she said people went wild for it, and she already has several offers over the asking price. You knew that was going to happen, though.
People like nostalgia.
I know.
And they'll jump on the opportunity.
But you still have to live in the purple and blue house.
You have to paint. That's what you have to do. WESH 2 News at 5 is straight ahead.
Christina Watkins joins us now with what's coming up in our next hour.
Stu, go ahead and buy that house.
No.
Confusion continues with the dissolving of the Reedy Creek Improvement District. Who could take over the taxes normally covered by Disney World? Some lawmakers say those of you in Orange and Osceola counties could pay, but economists say don't panic. Plus, the managers of a gun range in Lake County want to grow, why some neighbors are against this. And one Central Florida group working to prevent crime for more than 2 decades receives a big honor from Orlando city leaders. We'll see you at 5.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here.